Hey everybody, this is Louie, and this is the latest in my Order of Battle Marines playthrough. We're on Guadalcanal. If you've been watching, you saw that we dealt with this earlier. Recorded this very successfully. This is the Friday of Memorial Day, May 27th. Played it back. The sound was all messed up. So I deleted the sound and did a voiceover, and my Corel Video Studio 8 crashed. So now we're trying it again. I have no idea why I'm having so much trouble doing what used to be so simple, but there you go. So, okay, that's the deal, and we'll just have to work with it because I have no other way to deal with this. I did have it set up so that the game sound wasn't so loud. Now you get no game sound, and I'm sorry, I know that's not really optimal, but I just don't have any other choice unless I just want to release this with no sound. I don't think that would be very good. So here we go. Last time we were dealing with what I'll call the right side of the map, the Tenerife side, where that was where most of the attacks came from early in the game, which is historical. And then all of a sudden from the Guadalcanal side, or the right or the left side of the map, as you're looking at it on your screen, we started being hit. So I transferred some troops over and started to take it to them. Now, if you haven't seen any of these before or played this game, to win this scenario on Guadalcanal, you have to keep all of your CB units safe. Of course, you have to keep Henderson Field and all that safe. And you have to also raid the Guadalcanal and oh, shoot, I just lost the name of the other thing, which we got last time. And you have to knock down at least 5 Japanese fighters. So we are heading towards the Guadalcanal, and you can see here as I'm pushing down this road because we had been hit by a lot of Japanese forces here, so I want to push them back. I want to deal with that. And, of course, then I want to also get the flags over there as part of the victory conditions. So I'm going to move forward, do what I usually do, which is move a little too fast, and bam, I bump into a Japanese position. And so take some casualties there. These are raiders. I've got 2 raider units, battalions, or whatever these units are supposed to be on the map. Don't like, as we've said before, and I know if you've watched all 3 of these, if you watched my videos on Tulagi and now Guadalcanal, you're sick of hearing this, but the way that they've coded and handle Raider/Commando units in this game is really frustrating, because now my Raiders, you saw them move over there to on the seaward flank of this position. They are now out of supply because they can't make a supply line. And I know why they did it, but still, they need to fix this, because this is ridiculous. Every time you advance as a Raider unit, you are advancing out of supply. That's crazy. So anyway, I've got a regular straight leg Marine unit there on Bloody Ridge, as you can see. And I'm looking at it because I'm thinking, I need more help over on the Guadalcanal side. Nothing much seems to be happening here. And I do have an extra Raider unit. So, yeah, let's look at moving it. Now, I noticed when I was starting up the game, if you hold down the control key after you select a unit and click where you want it to go, it will automatically move it in that direction, even if it takes, more than one turn. So that's what I just did there. It's a nice feature, really nice feature, because it helps people like me who always forget to move units. Helps me not to do that. All I got to do is just, select it and click it. And as you'll see in a minute, they've also got another really nice feature with that, which I'll cover when it pops up on the screen for you. So here I am. I'm moving my guys forward. Got some artillery, and I want to get that up as well. It's one thing they do very well in this game, I think, is the way they model artillery. It's really strong. You could argue it might be too strong. I don't know, but it needs to be strong because, artillery was strong and still is strong. So I have no problems with that at all, the way they model artillery. In fact, I like it. I think it's good, I think it's a good representation of the power of artillery in combat. So there you go. All right, so the AI's had its turn, and now we're going to look at what we're doing here. And there we go. We got to try and knock down these Japanese fighters, because we got to have 5 of them. And so far I haven't seen 5 of them, so that's I was playing this, that's a concern. Here I go, I'm going to launch one of my boys down there. I've got 2 fighter units. And whether that's enough or not, good question. Now here are the Raiders. I'm moving them up onto Bloody Ridge because I want them to take that forward position where the flag is and hold it just in case there's some Japanese units out in the jungle running around out there that I don't know about. Speaking of artillery, here we go. Bam, look at that. Very strong, very important. And so now we're going to attack with the Raiders on the flank and blow that sucker up with our tank unit, which is really come in handy in this game, let me tell you. These guys are worth their weight in gold. Pardon me while I slurp some sun tea. And so we're going to move ahead, drive towards the river. And we're also bringing up troops, you notice, on the jungle side of the flank here, because I know there's units, I know there were units out there. How many, where they are, what they're doing, no idea. So now this is the long distance thing. Did you notice that? It gives you the ability to cancel it if something happens and you decide, no, I don't really want those guys to go there. That's really good. That's very realistic. But it also lets you set it and forget it if that's what you want to do. That's a really good feature. I like that. I like that a lot, so that's really good. Here's my fighter coming in. Going to see if we can knock down this Japanese unit because we need one. Bam, there he goes. So that's cool. Very happy about that. And like I was saying a second ago, I am moving some infantry units out a little deeper into the jungle just to guard the flank and to see if there's any Japanese units out here. And if we can find them, then, of course, we want to fix them and kill them, but we'll have to see if there's any out there or not, because I don't have any idea. But I wouldn't be surprised, because every time in this game you think you've got it, then they pull a little surprise on you, like right here where I stick my guy out on the bridge and bam, he runs into some trouble. Got a nice little position there across the Guadalcanal River. So I'm going to have to bring some people up here, bring some infantry, bring my Raiders, bring my Marines, call in some air support, pull up the artillery. You know, we're going to have to get everything if we want to get over there and capture those 2 flags, because we need those 2 flags. And so here you can see I'm trying to figure out which way to go with this guy. And there's the long distance move. And I'm just going to let him go ahead and move and continue with the turn. So that was a cool new feature, which I don't know if it's new to the game system, but it was new to me. Excuse me, a little too much tea there. It is tea, by the way. I'm just old and can't swallow anymore. Okay, so bringing up the fighters here. Want to get everything I can up here to soften up my or their positions before I try to actually engage in combat. So I'm pulling my artillery up, move my infantry forward. There's still nothing out there. Looking around, but I'm not finding anything. At least not yet. So, and here I'm trying to decide if I want these guys to follow or not, or should they just go on the coast road. It's like me, or I don't know, go this way, go that way, I'm not sure. So I decided to send them on the flank, just in case. Because if I were to run into something big out there, or if someone was to sneak down and cut these guys' supplies, that would not be good. Because in this game, if you're going to try to supply very long, you're in trouble. You're going to know it. It's going to hurt you. So, going to bring a fighter down here to look around as well and see what we can see. So, trying to do my best to be responsible. Get that Raider to move up there. There's that. I don't know what that flag there is for. Is that supposed to be Mount Austin? I would think Mount Austin would maybe be a mountain. Now, right over there, there's those kind of really steep ridges. That could be Mount Austin, or that could be Galloping Horse, but not on the inside of Guadalcanal. So I don't know. I wish they'd label these things. It would make me happier. But either way, that's the way it is. Those are the flags that you've got to deal with. So that's what it is. So we'll deal with it and not stress too much over the details. Breaking out, so they're giving me some more points to buy units or supply units. Now, you'll notice I don't have a lot of units on the map, and that's deliberate in the sense that I'm I'm always concerned about buying too many units and then not being able to supply them or reinforce them, because I'd rather have fewer strong units than a whole bunch of weak ones, right? I mean, that's just no help at all. So I've been holding back on that, just seeing what I need. And so far, what I'm doing with here, I'm dealing with everything pretty well at this point. So I'm happy that I don't have to buy any more units, at least not yet. Here we go. We've got some artillery going in on their artillery. So if I can knock that out, then, of course, that's going to make my job of getting across the river and taking those flag positions on the coast much easier. But it's going to take a little doing. So I'm going to call this fighter over. Enough of the scouting. I'm going to put him to work. And this reminds me of one cool thing here, too, about the air power in this game, fighters in particular, which I like, is that they go in, you'll send them into a target, whether it's a ship or a position on land, and then it gives you the option and the ability to pull them one hex off. So that's like a kind of a nice little graphic representation of planes come in, they strafe, they bomb, they do whatever, and then they pull off. They don't just sit over the target like they do, say, in Panzer Corps. So I like that. It's a nice little touch. It doesn't really mean that much, actually, but it's just one of those little touches that just makes the game feel a little bit more realistic, a little more interesting. So I like it. So so that's good, and enjoying that. So here we go, still pounding away here. I want to get rid of as much as I can before I actually try and get across the river. Hopefully won't lose too much when I do that. Here we go. Gonna hit these guys. And bam. You can see that, here comes some more air power. Gonna pull my planes around, see what's going on. And just in general, trying to soften these guys up and push them back eventually. All pretty straightforward. Now, here's a guy that needs to get back and refuel, so off he goes. And meanwhile, checking around, making sure everything's okay over here. It's almost too quiet. There's the only flag left on the right side of the map, and that's, of course, we actually got to it but couldn't take it because of the number of units, and there was a fortification either in front of it or on it. I think it was actually in the hex itself. So that one and the one down from Bloody Ridge are two that's going to take some doing to get. But these guys here, that's what I want to get now. I'm here in force, so I want to pick them up. So there we go. All right, so now land this puppy and get him refueled and maybe repaired. Boost him up a little bit. Meanwhile, back at the Guadalcanal, time to pull my artillery up. So I want to get that up where it'll cover me no matter what. And bring my air power in here. See what it can do. And then it pulls off target. It's awesome. I like that. Meanwhile, I'm going to pull my raiders up. Or should I go that way? Trying to make decisions. And you can see we're over the Guadalcanal now, and we are starting to tear them up. I want to get as much of their infrastructure, their artillery, whatever, and then take out their ground units. And eventually, get rid of that anti-air unit over there, too. Those guys are annoying. And the Japanese in this game, anyway, have a lot of them. But that's good. It keeps you honest as far as using your air power goes as the American. So now we're back out here on the flank looking around, seeing nothing, moving forward, kind of trying to figure out, which way do I go? Which way do I go? Because it's, you just don't know what's out there. Could be anything. So I'm waiting for the AI here now, of course. And we've put him in a position where a little hard for him to do all that much, but you never know. So you got to keep your eyes peeled. Meanwhile, the Japanese Navy has showed up to bombard, just as they did historically. And so now it's time to scramble the air power because we need to go get out there and pound on those. And look, ooh, whoa, more ships. Whoa, whoa. So I decide, okay, we got to send my fighter up here. So I do. And, oh, more ships. Okay. This could be bad. Of course, Vandergrift, this was his big fear, was that they would actually bring ships in and bring troops in and just land. Oh, there we go. I got Matanikau. Historically, it was a raiding party. This time, not so much. But actually land troops on the beach inside the perimeter and just, come in, land, and wipe them out. That was his big fear. The Japanese, of course, never did that, never even planned to do that, really. They always landed guys outside the perimeter and then wanted them to punch through into the perimeter and destroy the Marines. So, but, I mean, it could happen, so you got to pay attention to that. And you can see the Japanese brought somebody up here on the road to counterattack us. So we're going to have to deal with that guy, as well as continuing to push forward to get out on the point there and grab that flag. And so bringing more guys up, trying to get my artillery positioned where I want it, and then decide who I drop it on. And bam, dropped it on those guys. I think. Yeah. The screen I'm looking at when I do this voiceover, by the way, is like tiny. It is slightly bigger than my Galaxy S5, but not much, because I'm recording this voiceover thing in Corel Video Studio 8, hoping it won't crash this time. So there you go. And, ooh, look at that. More ships. Woohoo. Okay. But I got my fighters, plural, moving in. And so let's see what they can do. What can they do, and where do I want to send them? Which ships do I want to get? Because, those ship markers, they don't tell you how big the ship is. They just say there is a ship there. Could be a destroyer, a cruiser, a fighter, a battleship. You just don't know. And you notice that their bombardment worked. They knocked out my supplies, so now I'm limited on the number of fighters that I can supply. So now maybe only having 2 fighters is an advantage because I don't have, like a bunch of planes sitting around that I can't use. So I don't know. I still am wondering about maybe I should get another one, get 3. But at this point, the 2 are doing pretty well for themselves. I may actually, the more I think about it, the more I think I should at this point buy another one. Or maybe get a fighter bomber thing. Torpedo plane or a dive bomber, actually, to deal with the Navy. That would probably be smart. So, I just might be doing that in the upcoming turns. Don't know yet. I'll find out when I get there. Meanwhile, I'm back at the ranch here. We're continuing to move forward and going to take these guys out as quickly as we can. But they're tough. They fight. They don't make it easy on you. So, got to take him out. Boom. And, yeah, that's the end of him, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. So I decided at this point, let's go get these other 2 flags here on the edge of the map. And of course, there was somebody there waiting for me. So I got ambushed and had more casualties than I needed to have taken if I just slowed down. But like I say, I have a bad habit of not doing that. One of my many bad habits as a game player, by the way. I would tell you all of them, but we don't have time because this is only a half-hour show here today. Going to go about 30 minutes, and then we'll let you go. Okay, so then I remembered, oops, I got this guy out here. What am I going to do with him? Should I push deeper out just to see? Now, the problem with that is if he gets too far out there, what do you do if you need him back, along the coast? So which way do I go? So I decided to go ahead and pull him back towards the coastal road and bring him more into play if I need him, because I might. So, working on those guys a little bit. And now here's the Japanese ships, and of course, their anti-aircraft fire is pretty darn good, and they are beating up my fighters pretty well here, especially one fighter unit in particular. Took a beating. So that's the other thing about attacking ships. Obviously, they're not just going to sit there and let you sink them. So you have to watch for all that. Okay. And here we go. Are they going to bombard? Are they going to run away from the fighters? I don't know, but I know this guy needs to get back and land and get fixed because he's been slapped around pretty hard. So off he goes. And the other guy, I was trying to decide what to do. Do I attack? Do I pull off? What do I do? I decided, what the heck? I'm actually just looking at the projected odds and, to see how I can do, what I can do. And it's hard to know because the projected odds are, if you played any of these games, you know how unreliable that is. But I decided to go for this guy. It's one of the bigger ships, so went ahead and took a shot. Didn't do that much, but oh well. Maybe I'll scare them. Maybe they'll run away. That would be good for me. And there we go. I took the point, so that flag is now mine. So now, why not mop up here? And instead of just pulling back, let's take these guys out. I mean, there's just a couple of them, right? And they're right there. And so I decided I wanted to do that, even though it's not, it's not specified in the victory conditions. But, hey, why not? I'm here, they're here, let's do it. So moving them in and going to do it. That's the plan anyway. Whether that works out or not, you'll have to wait and see. So I decided these guys, maybe they should go back into the perimeter just in case something goes on because my perimeter is really thin. I don't really know that I need them over there on the Guadalcanal. I've broken through. I've just got a couple of more things to do there. So I'm thinking at this point, yeah, let's go ahead and send them back. So I decided to do that. And just checking around, looking at these victory points. I'm actually talking about taking them and what they represent, which is why right now I wish I hadn't done that because I don't remember exactly what I said. But anyway, yeah, maybe later I'll actually drive down to that victory point down there. I don't know. Obviously I'm gonna have to wait and see. But if I can, mop up enough units, what the heck? Okay, so the Imperial Navy is taking a powder. They've had enough. They came to do their bombardment thing, and they did it very well. Mission accomplished for them. They destroyed a lot of our aviation supplies. As you can see, I've got half of my victory conditions already accomplished and pretty close to this. And now, boom, out of the nowhere, Tokyo Express. That's right. They're coming to deliver more troops, and they're going to drop them off right down here over on the other side of the Guadalcanal. So now I got to get my fighters up and going. Now this is where I decided maybe I need more fighters or a fighter bomber because there's 3 of those ships. There's 2 of my planes, and that's a pretty big order. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a problem. But at least it answered part of my question because I was wondering how they were going to bring reinforcements in. Are they just going to pop up on the map, or are they going to actually come by ship? Well, apparently at least these guys are coming by ship, which is good because, again, that's historical, and so they can bring these guys in and we can deal with them. Now, also historically, they landed reinforcements much further down the coast, which isn't even on this map, so they could bring units in, just have them pop up on the left edge of the map, and that would also, that would fill the bill. That would be all right. But these guys are coming in. They might represent the ships that the Cactus Air Force just ripped to shreds, and they beached them near the Guadalcanal. We actually saw them. They're actually on pretty far. They're not near the Guadalcanal. They're up the road quite a bit. But when I was there, I actually saw there's almost nothing left of the ships above water now, just a tiny little bit. You can go find pictures of them where the whole ships are there, but it's been long enough to where in that weather and in that kind of sea that there's just hardly anything left. It's amazing. They're almost gone. Well, so much for my sun tea. Finished that off. So, as you can see, I'm coming out here. Found another Japanese position guarding that flag. And so I want to beat that one up and take it out. Excuse me, take it out and do all that before the Tokyo Express gets here. Because now you're sort of between two things here. You got to get this done, and you got to get it done before these troops land, if they land, unless you can stop them from landing, which, again, if you do the math, it's not, come on. But, that's the thing. I want to get that done, and then I can turn and face the new reinforcements. And maybe after I deal with them, if I can, then I, pull back. I might have to pull back and deal with them and come back out to the Botanicale. We'll just have to see. Don't know, of course, what's going on, but or what will happen. Actually, both of those statements were true. I don't know what's going on half the time when I'm playing the game or in real life. So there you go. But bringing my fighters up and at least want to whittle the odds down as much as possible. So here we go. I'm going to launch number 2 here. And he's got a ways to go to get there. That's for sure. So he's not going to be available right away. Meanwhile, down here, it's time to deal with these guys. And so the artillery speaks, and boom, beats him up pretty bad. So now I'm going to bring my tanks in, but oops, got a problem. Took some damage there. So my tanks are getting low. That worries me. I don't want to lose that tank unit. I probably have enough points to buy another one, but that's not the point. The point is, they just don't want to do that. That'd be a waste of resources, to be sure. So got to come down in here and figure out a way to get him out while taking the flag, because that's the name of the game. You'll notice I've moved the Marine unit a little closer to the original perimeter. He's down there real close now. But should I leave him there? Or in light of the Tokyo Express showing up, should I bring him back? Okay. Got to look at my artillery, see what it can cover. Start moving some units inland to take these flags, deal with these troops. And then, of course, I'm going to have to turn them around. Hopefully I'll have time to resupply, but we'll see. Yeah, here comes the Express. So I decided I might as well focus on the, the Imperial Navy here has to split too. I love these little blinkery things they do there for, there's a ship there, but we don't know what it is. That's also a really nice touch. And just in terms of the graphics, it's very, very nice, really pleasing. Oh, look at that, airplane. So now I get hit. Not only am I dealing with these ships, now I got to deal with the Japanese fighter. Great, right? Just what we needed. So I got to get some help up here to hurry. So let's get this boy moving. So I decided I'll bring him down along the coast since I know where the Tokyo Express is heading. Don't know where the Imperial Navy is and don't care at this point. They're out of the picture. Right now I got to focus on the Express and deal with these reinforcements that are coming in that I would love to just drown, quite frankly. Much easier to do that than it is to deal with them once they get on the ground, but whatever. So we're going to come up here and attack this guy. If we can take him out, we'll be in great shape. Meanwhile, of course, behind me, closing in, comes the Tokyo Express. So there's a lot of tension now. Can I get this done in time to meet the new threat? Should I meet the new threat? Should I just pull out and get back a little closer to home? Okay, you can see I've decided I'm bringing these guys back. Yeah, I made a bad choice sending them away. I've decided I want to bring them back up here because I am going to try and fight this out here. I want to meet them on the shore or close to and see if I can deal with them. And we'll see how that works. Now, if their landing is coordinated with some guys popping up on the right edge of the map, I could be in real trouble. But decided I'm going to be aggressive and go for it. So we'll see how that works out. And this desire to do this sort of led me to play a little longer than I had originally planned because I thought, wow, what a cliffhanger. Refueled. Yay, I got my fuel back. Alrighty. And a new unit. Who cares? I decided to be a little more aggressive than I kind of normally would. Normally on the defense, I pretty much let the enemy come to me a lot. I'll go out and slap them around and then pull back and let them come. But I thought in this case, let's really go for it and just kind of see what happens. So here's my second fighter. He's going to come up now and hit this guy and pull off. Notice I'm pulling off on the Guadalcanal side, so I've got a lot of coverage. Now look how close they are, man. And I haven't sunk that one yet. I'm hoping to at least sink one. But whether I'll make it or not, I don't know. If they stay on their present course, it looks like they're going to try to beach either on the point or right near to the point, to land their guys. Meanwhile, I got to get this flag. And boom. Look what happens. The dust clears. And we've got it. Yes. So now we can turn around and make a mad dash for the coast to prepare to give a warm welcome to our visitors, because that is the Marine way, right? Right. Okay, so so that's my thing now, is like, where do I put my guys? Where do I position myself? Got to put the artillery where it can be used, but where it's not vulnerable. All those kind of things, because they're coming, and they're coming quick. So this is actually, at this point in the game, this is the most suspenseful that this game has been to me. Because, these guys, they're just coming right down to it. And you notice here's this guy. He's just a few hexes away. You notice this guy, he should be able to land next turn, right on the point if he wants to. Meanwhile, the Imperial Navy goes bye-bye. And sayonara to you. We'll see you later. We are faced now with what to do and how we're going to deal with it. And that is where we're going to stop, folks. So happy Memorial Day if you're watching this live. I'm recording it the Friday of Memorial Day in the United States. Thank you, everyone who's ever served. God bless the families and friends and the men who died and the women who died. And I appreciate you watching and checking all this out. And at least I think that's where I'm going to end. Maybe I moved some guys around and I forgot. Hold on a minute. No, that's where I end. So this is Louis saying thanks for listening, and I'll see you later.